So what is the deal with brand strategy? Do you even need a brand strategy, and what actually is it anyway? Well, I've worked with thousands of founders over the past decade of running my brand design agency, and strategy is without a shadow of a doubt one of the most undervalued stages of the brand development process. Most of the time when I'm speaking to clients, they don't even know what brand strategy is. So what is brand strategy? Well, brand strategy at its very essence is positioning. So what is positioning? Positioning is a reason why a customer would choose your product or your service beyond everything else that they could potentially buy. And I don't think I need to explain why that's important, right? You need to generate sales if you want your business or your brand to be successful. But how do you actually develop a positioning or a brand strategy which is going to help you stand out? Well, it always starts with understanding your competitive landscape, as I like to call it. And that is essentially understanding your competition and your target audience. Two simple things. If you understand your target audience, when you're building any business, and this goes for pretty much any big business out there, Apple, Nike, Facebook, Amazon, they all started with one customer, so serving one type of customer, selling one type of product, and doing it in one single way with one channel. Okay, so one channel, one customer, one product. That's it. Then afterwards, once you have momentum, you can then branch out and start selling other things, offering more products. But at the beginning, you only need one channel, one product, and one customer. So understanding your customer is super important, because if you can understand the type of customer that you want to sell to, then it makes it so much easier to communicate the benefits and the value of your product, because you understand what that particular type of person is looking for, or at least you should once you've done your research. Now, once you understand your customer, you also need to do some research in regards to your competition. So understand what your competition are good at, what your competition are not so good at. And if you can do that, then we're starting to get into the art of war here, but you can start to use your abilities and your resources to attack your competition by presenting yourself in a way that you are strong in the areas that they are weak, and you can not battle them in areas where they are strong. That is something which is ultimately going to help you to get the best return on your investment when it comes to presenting your offering, right? For example, let's imagine you're trying to open a burger chain and you want to compete with McDonald's. You're probably not going to try and compete with McDonald's in regards to speed, because they have the Speedy system. They have and are known for having really quick service. So much like what Burger King did, where they basically positioned themselves as having less preservatives, as McDonald's is kind of known at this point for having a lot of preservatives in its fries and in its burgers and in its food. And when you understand exactly what your customers value in regards to the product that you're actually selling, and you also understand where your competitors are weak and also strong, so you know where to compete, you can then start to craft your positioning around a position that is going to help customers to see you as valuable, but also make sure that no other competitor is offering a very similar value proposition. That is going to give customers, ultimately by default, a reason to choose your particular product, because they can't get that particular offering anywhere else. And that, to be honest, is the main value of brand strategy. If you can define and clarify your communications, so your messaging, why people are going to choose you and why people know you in your brand, then customers are going to have a reason to actually put their hand in their pocket and give you their money for your product or service. And one of the things that I think brand strategy brings to any brand or any company is clarity. Even in kiosks, you can always refer back to the reason that your brand is actually there. Like, what is your main value proposition? What is your position in the market, aka positioning? Therefore, you can always refer back to that, so that if things get a little bit chaotic and confusing, all you have to ask is, does this serve our positioning? Does this help us build a perception in the customer's mind that we are this, we are our position? And if you can do that, then great. If you don't have positioning and you don't have a brand strategy, then will your business succeed? I don't know, but having a defined position in the market is super important, I think personally, and it's definitely something that can help to, lubricate or reduce friction. I think that's probably a better way to say it. Reduce friction so that you can get from where you are now to where you want to be far easier. It's going to help customers to choose you far more effortlessly, if that makes sense. So listen, hopefully this was valuable or helpful to some degree. If you have any further questions, please let me know in the comments and I'll try to answer as many as possible. And yeah, I'll see you in the future video. See you there.